believe me. So if anyone, he leave the country, he will never come back. Not, I mean, Jerusalem, most of the Middle East, in Syria and Lebanon and Turkey, everywhere, you know, the situation, I think that you can hear from the news, always we have a problem. No security, no peace, killing. So therefore they leave the country, unfortunately. And our roots from here, from the Middle East, because we have a culture, we have a churches, we have a roots, so we have no choice. Myself, I will never leave Jerusalem.
But what about the young people? Who are they marrying today?
Number one, they should marry from the community. On the other hand, if there is no woman, they can marry any Christian. The other hand, if you want to get married with a Jew or Muslim, so this is illegal. It's illegal to get married with another community. But as a Christian, he can marry with Greek Orthodox, Armenian, Protestant, Anglicans, or whatever. It's not that complicated.
Now we mentioned and we saw on the film about the special practices, ritual practices of the Syrian Christians, the uniqueness of their customs and their tradition. Let's begin off with the language. I talked a little bit about Aramaic, and I don't know what the difference is between Aramaic and Syriac. Would you like to explain to us?
Background, we are Aramaic. Our roots, it's Aramaic. The Aramaic nation, it's a known nation. We used to live in Antioch, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, all the Middle East. From that time, they call it Antioch. And the language of the Aramaic, it's used language in the area. Even the Jewish nation, they spoke Aramaic. But the Aramaic, they wasn't believers at that time. And also we had as you know, that we have our own kingdom in Raha. It's called the Aramaic kingdom. Now the city, they call it Urfa. It's a city in Mardin. Odessa, and before it was Urfa. Raha. Raha was Raha. The name Raha. So, after they believe in Christ, everything changed. So, this is Mediterranean alphabet, Arabic, Hebrew, Aramaic, Samaritan. We call them from the Semitic language, even Semitic nation. So, in Arabic, Aleph. In Hebrew, Aleph. In Aramaic, Olaf. In Samaritan, Aleph. All of them 22 letters. You can see them. 22 letters, all of them. And we write them from the right to the left, not like the English. So, to prove that the Aramaic, it's the roots of the three languages, not less than 3,000 years. Here you can see the excavation, Babylonian, and from the old Aramaic, discover the Syriac, which now it's my mother language, and the Arabic and the Hebrew. And the old Hebrew comes to the Samaritan. All of them come from the Egyptian. The roots of all these languages come Phoenician and Egyptian.
With your permission, can we pass the page round? May we?
Yeah, you can show. Yeah, you can show them.
This is most interesting and, as you say, important. Now, do all the members of the Syrian Christian community speak Syriac today?
To say the truth, this is our mother language. Some of them, they speak the language, some of them, no. Some of them, they can understand, but they can't answer. So if anyone studied in Syriac school, they knew the language. Because always the school teach 3 languages everywhere, any place in the world.
Now, which school did you go to, Sami?
Syriac Orthodox school in Jerusalem. I start 1942 till 1948, till the war starts. So I studied 6 years, till 5 elementary. That's all my study.
Okay, so I want to tell everybody that this person sitting next to me, who only has elementary education, in 2010 wrote a book on his community, which is here. And in this book you will see some amazing photographs as well. I might pass it around as well. Every leader in Israel has paid his respects to Sami. So you have photographs here with Teddy Kollek, the mayor of Jerusalem, with Olmert, with every dignitary.
Lublansky.
And Lublansky, and even Yasser Arafat. And now, what's the story behind the picture with you and Teddy Kollek?
Teddy Kollek, he was my friend and he was my customer. He paid me a visit 1984 or 85 with Lord Snowden. Lord Snowden, he is the husband of Princess Marguerite. So he was the guest of the mayor. So when they passed from my shop, he told them, this is Sami, he is the Mukhtar of the Syriac church, and he is my friend. So we talked together. And he published a book. After 6 or 1 year, he sent me the book from London.
And every other mayor in Jerusalem appears to have visited your tailor shop.
Yeah, because I have a good connection, by the way.
Are they all your customers?
We have a connection with the Minister of Interior and the municipality and the Minister of Religion. So we have a connection if the community, they need a help. So through us, we can help each other.
Mm-hmm. And how many Syrian Christians are there in the world over?
In the whole world, we are around 2 million.
2 million?
Not including India. In India, we had 5 million.
Right.
2009, I was in Cochin, Kerala.
Right.
Unbelievable. Millions of people, even they pray in Aramaic language. In Aramaic language. So really it was exciting, really. But unfortunately now most of our people, they leave to Europe. Now most of the majority in Europe, Sweden, Germany.
Oh, really? Everybody wants to know if there are connections with the Syrian Christians in Syria. What's happening today?
Today, really unbelievable. The problems which happened in Syria, it's like a shock for us. Because it was the last country, they used to live in peace. I mean, to say the truth, the Syrian government, they support, not just my people, any small community, they support them well. Now, the Christians, they are the enemy of the others. I don't know. We don't want to talk about politics, but really something shame. Most of our people now, they left to Lebanon, to Jordan, to Turkey, and to Europe.
And did any people come from Syria to Jerusalem?
No. No permission. But they come to Jordan. Really, it's sad, really.
And we mentioned that the patriarch is this evening in Jordan. Are there connections with the Jordanian community?
Yeah, because my archbishop, he is the head of the community or the Syriac church in Jordan, Israel, and the Palestinian Authority and the Holy Land. So therefore he go to Jordan here. He is the responsible of the
This is the
parish
fellow that I photographed. Yes. And what happens when you go over the border to Jordan?
Regular, I think.
Regular, no problems?
No problems at all, no. Maybe if I was 18 years,
okay,
that's something else. But now with this age, no problem, no.
Yeah.
No problem. No problem.
Now, tell us about your everyday life. You open your tailor's shop at what time in the morning?
I open 10 o'clock in the morning till 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I am retired now as a tailor, but my shop, it's like an office, you know, or information center.
And then in the evening you go to the club?
We have our own club, yes, sure. We go in the evening, we share together with our children, yeah, with the new generation. We have meeting, you know, always we have meeting. By the way, I would like to tell you a small story. It's okay, that's not including the program, but it's very interesting. It's very
Take
interesting.
your time.
1945, I was maybe 9 years old. To tell you how it was the life in Jerusalem between the community. As I told you, I born in the Jewish quarter. There was a small grocery, his name Pinhas. He sell bakala, nakerda, that's some kind of fish.
Oh, yes.
With rice and sugar. So my mother, she told me, go to Pinhas, tell him to give you kilo sugar, and tell him my mother, she will pay you. Look, the friendship, how it was. Today, no one can buy a kilo sugar without pay the money. Because she thought that I will lose the money, so that's a part. And I would like to tell you another story, it's very interesting, especially for you. The Dead Sea Scrolls, discovered by our people, by our nation, by our church. 1947, a Bedouin guy, he went to Valley Qumran. He found the scrolls. He came to Jerusalem. His name was Muhammad al-Abidi. Abidi, it's a village close to Bethlehem. There was 2, 3 merchants from my community. One of them, George Shaya. The other one, the professional, Khalil Kando. Till now, he had a shop in Jerusalem. He is a specialist in antique. So the Bedouin, he sell it to George Shaya. George Shaya, he gave it to the merchant Kando. Kando, he bought the scrolls to our Archbishop, to St. Mark Monastery. I don't know if you know this story. The name of the bishop at that time was his name Athanasios, Yeshua Samuel. So he learned Hebrew just to read the scrolls because it was written in 2 languages, in Hebrew and in Aramaic. So the war started 48. After 2 years, he left to Syria, and from Syria he went to the States. He made a lot of exhibition there, and then after a few years, 1953 or 54, the Israeli government, they said to him, you should bring them to Israel. The Jordanian government, they told him you should bring to Jordan. The British government even, they told him it was British time. He told them at that time, there was no England, there was no Jordan, no Israel. 1947, there was no authority. Anyhow, he met a very wealthy Jewish person. His name, Samuel Gottsman. Still, I remember his name because I wrote a lot of articles in this book about the Dead Sea Scrolls. So this guy, he bought the books, and the second day now they are in the Israeli Museum, the scrolls. 10 years before, they invited me with the Archbishop to see this section of the scrolls. So when you enter the place, you will see the picture of my Archbishop, Athanasios Yeshua Samuel, with Professor Sokonik, the father of Yigal Yadin,
Yes.
because they are professional in archaeologists, both of them, the father and the son. So they invited us, really, we spent a good time So this, I don't know if you hear
Now
about
this is
story.
very, very important that you tell us.
It's interest.
I personally knew a different narrative completely, that a Bedouin guy found it in the
Shepherd.
cave.
He was a shepherd man.
Yeah.
Because he lost one of the sheep, and then the second day the father, he called, you can't sleep at home, you should go back to the valley to bring the... Believe me, that's what happened.
مرة لكم بعد مش بالميل بوسوا اليويو
صالينا بوسوا اليويو.
هات دوحة كملوا عشان تسجل.
So it's
to say the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic language with my people.
what I think that we'll do is we'll
Just to hear the language.
just to hear
The language.
perhaps I think that what we'll do is we'll finish the interview and then we'll see how we get progress. Yes.
We have two kinds of letters. This is certo and we have stringale. Two kind of.
I think it's very important for us. I didn't know this. The involvement of the Syrian Christians in the Dead Sea Scrolls, and it's total ignorance. And so this sort of evening really helps us to bridge gap between communities. And I myself was totally ignorant, and I thank you for telling us this. Let me just terminate the interview. And I want to ask you what your dream is for Jerusalem and what your dream is for your community. There are two separate things here. Yeah.
To live in peace and to have good friendship with all the community. That's all what we believe. That's
wonderful.
Because we are not fighters. The Lord always, He taught us to be nice, to forgive, to pray for the others. That's our roots of the Christian. This is the Christianity.
I want to thank you very much, Mukhtar Sami Barsoum. You really are an example to the world.
Thank you.
And thank you so much. Thank you very, very much.